Hello, my dear students. I'm Dr. Geeta Mathur. Welcome to my channel. And in this channel, I'm going to teach you mathematics of grade 8th. So I will be covering CBSE, ICSE, and IGSE board. And I hope that this video will really be helpful for you all. So let's start with the chapter rational numbers. So this will be an introductory video in which I will talk about different kinds of numbers. So let's start with the natural numbers. Now, what are natural numbers? Now, as the name suggests, natural. Natural means which occur naturally. Class nursery, we have been told or we have been learning numbers starting from 1 till infinity, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So these are the counting numbers. So all the numbers which can be countable, which are countable, right? They are known as natural numbers. So the numbers which starts from 1 and goes till infinity are called natural numbers. Now if you add 0 to the natural number, it becomes whole numbers, right? So what are whole numbers? Whole numbers start from 0, 1, 2, 3 and goes till infinity. Okay? Now let's come to integers. What are integers? So before I talk about integers, let's see that I have drawn a number line over here on the left hand side. So as you can see, there are various subdivisions on the number line. On the middle of it, I have written 0, right? And to the right of 0 are positive numbers, which starts from 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, and it goes till infinity. Whereas on the left hand side of 0, there are numbers which are negative, -1, -2, -3, -4, and so on till infinity. Okay, so all the numbers which starts from 1, which are written in blue, they are natural numbers, and when 0 is included, these are whole numbers. And on the number line, positive numbers, negative numbers, and 0, all the numbers are lying. So the numbers which lie on the number line, they are known as integers. Or I can say that combination of positive numbers, negative numbers, and 0 are known as integers. Okay. I can also say that all positive integers are natural numbers, right? Because positive integers are what? They're natural numbers only. It starts from 1, goes to infinity, right? Now, let's talk about rational numbers. So, what are rational numbers? So, now I think that now you've understood integers. So, what are rational numbers? Rational numbers are any set of integers. Like they can be positive, they can be negative, they can be 0. Okay. So it is a ratio of two integers, a divided by b. Okay. So any integer in this form, which can be expressed in the ratio form, a divided by b, they are known as rational numbers. But there is a limitation to it. What is the limitation? That b cannot be equal to 0. That means we cannot put denominator as 0. Okay. So why we cannot put denominator as 0? Because anything divided by 0 is undefined. So this 0 can be put in the numerator. You can write 0 upon 2, 0 upon 4, 0 upon 5. That is 0 only. But you cannot write 1 upon 0 or minus 1000 upon 0 because that will be undefined. So any set of integers which can be expressed in the ratio of two integers provided that the denominator is not equal to 0 are known as rational numbers. Okay. So they can be expressed as either fractions or decimals, and these forms are equivalent. For example, if I write 3 upon 2, now 3 upon 2 again is a number which is expressed in the form a upon b, right? So if I divide this 3 upon 2, you will get 1.5. So both the forms, this is the fraction form and this is the decimal form. So both the forms are equivalent to each other, right? You can also write 0 upon 1. You can write 5 upon 1. Any number divided by 1. 0 upon 1 is okay. That is 0 only. So this is also a rational number. Minus 20 is again a rational number because when nothing is written in the denominator, it is understood that it is 1. So minus 20 upon 1 can be expressed in the form a by b, right? 10,000 is again a rational numbers. Okay, so that's all about rational numbers. Now let's talk about irrational numbers. So what are irrational numbers? So irrational numbers are those numbers which are not rational or which cannot be expressed in the form a by b, right? But to be more precise, what will be the definition of irrational numbers? Irrational numbers are the numbers that are non-terminating and non-repeating or non-recurring. For example, square root of 2. Now, what does this statement mean that they are non-terminating and non-repeating? By non-terminating, we mean that they are non-ending, or we can say whenever you are dividing two numbers, you are not getting remainder as zero. Because if you get remainder as zero, that means the division is terminated, right? But if you are dividing two numbers and you are not getting end of it, you are not getting remainder as zero. So that number, they are non-terminating in nature, right? And non-repeating means that in the quotient, you're not getting any number which is repeated. For example, if you do long division of root 2, you will get 1.4142135623730950 and so on. See, it's going like it is not non-ending number, right? I've put dash 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 dash. So dash 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 means k remainder is not zero. It's not coming out to be zero. So such numbers which are non-terminating, which are non-ending, where remainder is not zero, they're irrational numbers and they're non-repeating also. See, 4141356237330. There's no, it's a different type of a number. There's no repetition of numbers. Like we're not saying 356, 356, 356, 356. Okay, so they're not occurring again and again. So such numbers are known as irrational numbers. It is not actually, we write pi as 22 by 7, but it is actually not 3.14. It is actually 3.14. This is non-ending, right? So this is a non-ending number. So this is the value of pi actually. Pi is equal to 3.14159,269. You can take out the long division of root 3. That is 1.732 and so on. Okay. Now coming on to the real numbers. So what are real numbers? Real numbers are any numbers which you can think of. So any number which comes into your mind, which we have been studying so far, whether in nursery or in fourth or in 10th or in 12th, or if you go into engineering, wherever you go, whatever number comes into your mind, that number is a real number that exists actually. For example, 4.095 minus 2000, 0, pi, 3 upon 5, etc. Any number you can think of is a real number. But the number which you cannot think of is imaginary, which actually does not exist. So what are imaginary numbers? Imaginary numbers, we cannot take, we cannot take the square root of negative numbers, but we can take the square root of positive numbers like irrational numbers under root 2. You can take the square root, right? But if I write minus 2 here, you will not be able to take the square root of minus 2. Okay. Why you cannot take the negative square root of negative numbers? Because there is no number which when is squared produce negative number. If you square any number like minus 2 into minus 2, you will get plus 4 only. You will get positive number only, right? Minus 3 into minus 3 will be equal to what? 9. So you cannot get minus 9, right? So it is there is no such number which when is squared produce negative numbers. Therefore, we say that they are imaginary. So we can do it only if we admit that the result is imaginary, right? If you can write under root 1, that is equal to 1. But if you write under root minus 1, so let's assume that it is equal to I. This small I is for imaginary number. Okay, it is just an imagination. So that negative minus 1 is equal to I. So if you take a square root of minus 4, this becomes square root of 4 into minus 1. We can write it this way, 4 into minus 1. Now we know square root of minus 1 is imaginary. So when you take out the square root of 4, it becomes 2, right? So it becomes 2i, right? So all the roots of negative numbers are imaginary. So on the left hand side, I've made a flow chart which describes about different types of numbers. Okay, so numbers may be real, they can be imaginary. Imaginary are the roots of negative numbers, whereas the real numbers, they are any number which we can think of and they exist. So they can be of two types, rational, irrational. Irrational numbers are numbers which are non-terminating and they are non-repeating. Example, under root 2, under root 3, under root 5, pi, and so on, right? And rational numbers again are of two types, fractions and integers. So rational numbers can be expressed in the form, a by b, where b cannot be equal to 0. So this is a fraction form. And if you're writing integer like -3, -2, -1, which we have taken on the number line, they're also the rational numbers. Why? Because nothing is written in the denominator, but it is understood that in the denominator it is 1 only. So -3 by 1 can be expressed in the form of, it can be expressed in the form of a by b. So see, if it is -3, uh, you can write here divided by 1. Again, here also you can write divided by 1, divided by 1. 0 by 1 also exists, it is 0 only. 1 divided by 1 is 1 only. 2 divided by 1, 3 divided by 1. Okay, so these all integers are again in the form a by b, so they are also rational numbers, right? Again, if you come under integers, then comes whole numbers. So whole numbers are the numbers which starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, goes till infinity. Okay, so these are the whole numbers. Now under whole numbers comes natural numbers because they start from 1, 2, 3, and so on. So that's all about the introductory part of rational numbers. I hope I've made myself clear. So in my next video, I'm going to do some questions for you about these numbers only, and then we'll go further. If you like the video, kindly like my channel and subscribe it. Thanks for watching.